First of all, good evening to every single one of you incredible people out there. I know that y'all been emailing, that y'all been talking, and man, we love it so much. And I just thank God for every single one of y'all because there's no greater feeling in the world than to be loved and missed. And man, the love and appreciation that y'all give for us here at Unfiltered, on behalf of me, Miss Hills, and Mr. Reese, we thank y'all so much. And in season 5, we guarantee it's going to blow you away because we having I don't want to say a total new approach to how we do things, but it's going to be an explosive approach that is going to be incredible. It's going to be yoke breaking, generational curse demolishing. It's going to force you and stretch you beyond any thought process that you've ever had before. And it's all going to be centered around God. So, we getting started. And I just want to say, welcome, to season 5.
Woo! 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 Ow! Love that money.
Follow your passion first. When I retired from the game, I sat there asking kind of all the wrong questions. What's the biggest industry I can get into? It's all the wrong stuff. And you got to sit there and ask yourself, okay, what am I truly passionate about? What do I enjoy doing? And when you feel that way, honestly, you feel like you've never worked a day in your life. It's the most fun thing in the world. You get up in the morning excited about what you're doing. And you got to be really honest with yourself about it. If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, dude, do something else. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make. But when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience. And you'll find out that the rewards will come.
Oh, so season 5, Unfiltered. Welcome, everybody. We have been doing this for 5 years, and I'm just grateful for every step of the way. And in the words of the most fabulous Tom Brady, when they asked him, Tom, what's the best championship? And he said, the next one. So we are positive that in these seasons, when someone asks us, what's your favorite season? I'm happy to say the next one. So it's your man, Mr. Johnson. So grateful for the season 5. We want y'all to keep Mac Reese in y'all prayers. I know we got a season where it seems like it is sickness striking so hard. This, I don't know, what's going on this type, right now, but I just seem like the kids get sick. Of course, y'all know the kids get sick and the parents getting sick, and it's like an ongoing thing. So right now, in the name of Jesus, we saying it is not so, Father. You said by your stripes, we are healed. Mm-hmm. And Lord, we know that your word is solid. It's not broken. And it can't return void. So that means as it is out there, it must accomplish every single thing along its way before it gets back. So amen. In the name of Jesus, we declare healing in every single household, every single person. We don't know what's going on or wherever it may be happening, that we are asking God's unchanging hand to be upon every single one of you. And right now, for our cousin Mac and Mr. Reese, we are just declaring healing right now in the name of Jesus, Father.
Yes.
And we are here. Season 5, we got 2 beautiful women with us today. And we're going to have some great topics. So, again, if you are tuning in, and I see y'all coming in right now, y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, YouTube, on Meta, and Twitter. Make sure you go all the places, do it, share, and do everything that you got to do to get on there. Make sure you get this podcast around like y'all have done so faithfully every time. And we are appreciating you so much. So we're gonna start it out with Miss Hill's gonna let her introduce herself, and then we're gonna take it from there. And then we're gonna have a beautiful, that one right there, and that unfiltered shirt right there, that gorgeous creature right there. with a bright smile on her face. We're going to let her go. Miss Hills, miss you, babe. Love you. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy we in season 5. 5 is my favorite number, so it's about to be amazing. And I'm just happy that we representing for the ladies. We still here, still have our voice being heard. We're still in the conversation. We're still at the table. We're still making change. So let's continue to move forward together in collaboration with one another, loving one another. And let's just look forward to greatness this season. It's going to be great.
Hey everybody, Kyra is back. I'm so glad to be a part of the show as usual. I missed y'all and missed you, Miss Hills. Been a long time. Glad to see you still look the same. But we're gonna have some good topics tonight, and hopefully we can, reach somebody, help somebody, bless somebody.
Amen. That's what it's all about. So will we both get into one thing real quick before we get on our topics? We got 2 good topics tonight. So again, all of y'all know what y'all gonna do. If you're looking, share. If you share, look. Y'all already know it. Let's get that going right off the bat. Let's get it out there because we have some really powerful topics tonight in regards to some things. And I'll be beknownst to me to say one thing that we have talked about. I'm gonna let Miss Hills kind of share it because she's big into the dance community, and all life, any life loss is bad. Let's stop that there. But it's different when it's people that look like you. It touches a little different when it's people that look like you. And I'll let her hit on it, like, just in case everybody didn't know about it. Twitch. If anybody is unfamiliar with who he is, he's just not famous for the Ellen Show, but that's probably the biggest platform that he may be known for at this time. 40-year-old, probably the best, as in his own words, best fake DJ ever in life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, allegedly took his own life yesterday via a gunshot wound at the age of 40. I'll let Miss Hills kind of say a little bit more about it, but we definitely want to send condolences out to this really incredible dude who's done a lot. And like I said, Miss Hills, you can speak to it more.
Yes. Steven Twitch Boss, like, he was someone in the dance community who really made tremendous impact. And it's not just the dance community, it's anybody who watched the Ellen Show, of course. I know you had to see him, and he's done a lot. He was a philanthropist. He's done a lot in the community just surrounding dance and different projects that he had going on. And we just need to keep his family in prayer. He had 3 children. He was married to one of his partners from the dance show. He was on So You Think You Can Dance. So if you ever seen So You Think You Can Dance, that's what he's first known for, as a hip-hop dancer, pop and lock. And he was amazing. And it's just shocking that this happened overnight, literally. If you've seen anything online, I'm sure you have. The video that he just posted, or that was posted a few days ago, where just him and his wife did dance videos all the time. So all you saw was him smiling and him happy. And just for overnight, in 24 hours, from him to have these type of videos out, for him to be showing this online, and then for this to be the reality of today, that's major. And I just want to encourage anybody out there who's having struggles. If you're having these kind of thoughts, it's easy to put on a mask. It's easy to pretend. It's easy to look good on social media.
Right.
But internally in your mind, if you're not healthy, if you're not happy, if you're struggling, if you're just having dark thoughts, negative thoughts, self-doubt, just feeling like life is not worth living because you constantly have different struggles or circumstances that are not allowing you to reach the potential you want to reach or go where you want to go, please talk to somebody that you can trust. And if you don't have nobody to trust, you can talk to God. God is here. God first and foremost. The other people who you can reach out to, they'll be a help, but God is the ultimate help. You need to reach out to God and just cry out to him. Whether you believe in him or not, try it. I guarantee he's going to respond. He's going to answer you. And I just want to encourage anybody who's had depression, because that's another part of it. Because he didn't show a lot of depressing symptoms, he wasn't sad all the time, talking negative, woe is me, all those type of things, it was a shock because people they only saw the smiles. They only saw the joy and the light that he brought because he was a light. But it just takes a moment for you to be triggered. It takes a moment for darkness to come upon you and overtake you. So we gotta stay prayed up. We have to stay guarded up. And if you don't know how to pray, that's cool. People in your family, people that you don't know, strangers, just communicate. We got this social media platform for a reason. So we post any and everything we want to post on social media. Start posting things that matter. Start posting how you really feel. If you really need to use this platform to help you as a form of therapy, if you can't reach out to a therapist, or if you don't have anybody who you can trust in your life, or you don't want to talk to some stranger on, a phone line. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, a post will make a difference. One post, because you'll be surprised how many people are struggling and going through.
Absolutely.
Who have the same thoughts that you have, who have some of the same triggers, or who've been through worse than you, that you need to see to encourage you to know, like, my story and my journey and my testimony and whatever I'm going through, it's not as bad as that. It could be worse. So I need to see the blessings. I need to see the good. I need to focus and redirect my thoughts on something different. So that's all I wanted to share. Let's just stay mindful that, especially during the holidays, that's this time, a lot of us has lost a lot of loved ones. There's been a lot of death. There's been a lot of grief. There's been a lot of loss. And a lot of us don't know what to do with it. We don't know how to deal with it. It's been lingering for a long time. It's been building up for a long time, especially since the pandemic, especially since 2020. So this is our time and our opportunity. We can't just keep seeing people pass on. We can't keep seeing suicides and we have those same thoughts, or just hurting so bad and we're not reaching out. Stop suffering in silence, because you don't have to. It's a choice. Choose to reach out. Choose to speak up. And bring awareness to whatever you have going on, whatever you're dealing with, that somebody else can help you with. Just by praying for you. Just by giving you a smile, a hug, to know that you love, to even share that you inspire them, you encourage them. We don't know how many people that look up to us or that we influence on a daily basis just by being us. So just keep that in mind. You're needed. You're needed. Absolutely. And that's personal for all of us, because I'm sure we all have our dark days and our moments where, we shut down and we don't want to reach out and we're isolating ourselves. Don't allow that isolation to become your regular routine. Take a moment to deal with what you need to deal with, feel how you need to feel, but get the help you need. Jesus in therapy is real. You can have both. You can get what you need. Just reach out.
Absolutely. That's 100. Kyra, I know that you, especially me, you talk about it all the time, and we understand that we in this season. You got anything to say in regards to this this thing, because this depression, and I know we both have touched base on it because we both see therapy, and both are strong. Both are strong in church, and more so than this lifestyle where a lot of times people said that it's not a balance. I don't want to say a balance. I think that's a bad word to say, balance, but not a realization that you need help. Mm-hmm. And I really want you to touch base on that, because I know that you know.
Well, the first thing is because when a person is going through some things like that, and when they've already made it to that point where they've made up their mind that they're going to end it all, they're not exactly going to reach out for help, because they don't, at that point, they don't want anybody to help them. Mm-hmm. So the key is to pay attention to your loved ones, people. Check on people. Check on your loved ones, even the ones that seem to be, happy-go-lucky, giddy, and things like that, because that's the biggest mask. That's that they hide behind. But there are always signs. Listen to the things that they say in their conversations. Some of the things that they do. Pay attention to some of the things that they do. Are they starting to give things away? Are they talking about being down, sad, depressed? Are they going through something? Know your people. People, y'all have loved ones out here. We have to start checking up on each other. I know that we all have our own lives and we all have our own kids and whatever you have going on, but make room for the people that you love, because everybody is going through something and not everybody is handling it the same.
That's right.
And you would hate for it to be your loved one that handled it in the way of suicide when they didn't have to do that. And they say, well, they feel like, well, I didn't have anybody, or I had to keep a smile on my face because the people who care about me and love me, they only care about me and love me when I'm smiling and when I'm doing good. Because the second I show that something's going on, don't nobody want to be bothered, or I feel like I'm being a nuisance to people. Let your loved ones know that you're there and pay attention. Not everybody's going to come out and just say, oh, I'm depressed and I feel like, I'm going to do this and that to myself. They're not. When somebody is serious about committing suicide, they're not going to tell you about
talking.
it. They're not talking. No. You're going to find out on the news. You're going to find out when you go knock on, you ain't seen the person in days, and you send the police over there and they call you back talking about they found the body. That you're going to find out in ways that you don't want to find out, because then it's too late. It's too late to call the person and say, hey, how you doing? Something so simple. Or it's too late to say, you know what? I'm ready to have that conversation now. I know I was busy at the moment. I was out partying. I was doing whatever. I was asleep. It was 3:00 in the morning. I was asleep. I had to be up at 5, but I'm ready now. It's too late now. Mm-hmm. So my biggest thing is look at the signs. I know I have been there. But I'm here today because, for one, I reached out. So therefore I reached out because clearly I wasn't all the way. I hadn't had my mind made up that this is what I'm going to do. Because if so, I wouldn't be here today.
Right.
I had prayer warrior friends, and I knew who those prayer warrior friends were. So those are the people that I reached out to, because at that time I knew that only God could replace what I felt like was stolen from me. Only the Creator can fix what I felt like was broken. But it got to a point where I didn't have enough faith, mm-hmm. or enough strength, or enough of anything left in me to go to God on my own. Mm-hmm. So I contacted those who I knew would step in the gap for me and go to God on my behalf. Mm-hmm. Those prayer warrior friends prayed for as long as they needed to. They prayed. I would call them at 2:00 in the morning. They sleep, whole house sleep. They got to get up for work in the morning. Kids got to get up for school. But when they heard me crying, then when they seen my number pop up at that time of the night, they knew something ain't right. Let me answer the phone. And they got to praying. Sometimes they prayed for hours.
Yeah.
There was one very close friend of mine who would not only just be available at any point in time, but that friend would come to my house just to physically make sure I'm okay. Mm-hmm. Just to physically see me smile, make me smile, uplift me, remind me of who and whose I am. That friend wanted to physically pray with me, mm-hmm. so that where two gather and agree, God is in the midst. So, yeah, that friend happens to be my man now, Mr. Johnson. Couldn't be, you know, I couldn't be more blessed, you know, but it just took people that really cared, because a lot of the people that I thought were my friends, I still ain't heard from them. It's been 5 years. 5 years. I was in a deep depression for 4 years straight. And I would call them, and when they heard that, you know, when they picked up that phone and didn't hear the happy-go-lucky, giddy, you know, Shakira that they're used to, oh, they didn't have time to talk. They didn't want to talk. Call me back when you straight again. You know, God works. Prayer works. And if you don't have the strength to, you know, for that right now, hey, people have been there. People have been there. God understands. But God blessed everyone with all kind of options. Mm-hmm. God is the one who made psychiatrists and therapists. God created your friends who do know how to, you know, go to him, who are strong enough. Your family members, your mom, your dad, your brothers, people who love you enough to go to God on your behalf. Mm-hmm. It's not the end of the world, but people be, you know, at that time, people, it does feel like it. All I can say is people pay attention to your loved ones. Look at the signs. Yeah. Pay attention to if they're acting different. If they don't go out as much as they used to, if you start to see that, you know, they're not showing the interest in things that they used to love. They're not being the parent that they used to, you know, the involved parent that they used to be. They're not dressed in the way that they, you know, normally dress. They start not just, you can look at them and kind of tell like, dang, look like you kind of care. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Check on them. If they start saying stuff like, oh, I don't, you know, I want to kill myself, or I just can't take this, I'm so depressed and stuff like that, don't push it off to the side and be like, oh, they'll be all right tomorrow. Because they might not be. Take that serious. Yes. To heart.
Absolutely.
You might save somebody's life.
Absolutely. I purposely sat here and didn't interrupt either one of you ladies because I know for a fact that it's some things, you know, we need to hear. We gotta, sometimes we make the mistake of trying to be on a self-appointed schedule to how we want to do things, and then we end up missing valid moments and valid points that end up getting missed that can help restore things that people need to hear, and they need to hear each one of those things that you said, because depression is not fake, not in the least bit. And as we just said, and all of y'all in the comments so much, I wanted to touch base on one comment from one of my bros, and that is so true. It's, you know, it's alarming. Yeah. See, the issue is, dang, I can't believe we're going this. You know, it's tying into our topics. I can't believe we're going this way. But that's why you go this way. You keep an ear. You keep an ear. And but what happened is that men, especially, and like I said, in this situation, especially men, especially black men, you know, and it's a lot of black men never ever, because I want to put this up here. My bro John, appreciate you, man. And it says full transparency. I never dealt with depression personally. I allowed my son to move to Texas with his mom, and we shared joint legal and joint physical custody. Not having him in close proximity affected me profoundly. And I went into a full-fledged depression. It's real. That one, you know what I'm saying? That hit home. Because it's so many black men that have no idea, none, that they're depressed.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they never battled it, never had to go through it.
Yeah.
And as they go on and have to experience it, what it does is that it doesn't push you out to say, hey, I got a problem.
Yep.
It makes you close the door and then another door, to get underneath the carpet, underneath a cover, bury yourself in dirt, and you like, man, I got to be here. And then you don't even realize why you're there.
Yeah.
And it's a strange feeling. I know, and I'm grateful for our women. As you saw, our women spoke so incredibly about how it is depression. And I remember in talking to, in transparency, it's some stuff, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, now unless God tell me different, some stuff I might not say. Because I keep it in close proximity to the individuals that I trust. I'm not a fool. And I just remember, just to all the brothers out there, honestly, bro, we've been walking around for years with PTSD.
Yes.
We've been walking around for years with effects of trauma. And this is no disrespect to the military or anybody else, but we have been walking around with trauma that will rival wars. The bad part about that is that sometimes wars eventually come to an end. But when you have to walk around in constant depression and fear, it's no joke. That's why and I thank God all the time for all you incredible black women out there. And I know there's other people out there, but I'm saying it where it started with, and it was with black women. Real. We're not talking about, like I always say, people say not all. I hate when people say not all. I ain't got to say not all. You should have common sense to know not all. But all women, our black women have been by our side for a long, long time. At times, they have wanted us to talk more. But what happened is that we've been taught, keep it pumping, keep moving. Don't you cry. That ain't what men do. Get up. You got to do this. Man, when you talk about what's wrong with you, you got to do this. So we've been walking around with all this held up. And guess what has led us to? It's led us to huge amounts of depression.
Yeah.
To all this angry, violent, fake bravado that has led to us being in prison or dead. This is one of the two. And it's led that way to where you feel like you have no one to turn to.
Yeah.
I want to say that what I am grateful for, and John, man, I love you, bro, that when I had to face with my depression, and I've said this story so many times, and maybe didn't go in detail enough, but I said that when I finally was going to counseling, when I said I got to get help, something ain't right. And I had to realize that it was stemming off in every single relationship that I was getting into. And cuz you're absolutely right. This is the danger. This is why I don't, and when people say generational curses, I'm just so for, it should be generational increases. I don't like when people say I'm going to try, it should be an increase. And what happens is that you pass these beliefs all the time. Don't do this, don't do that. And all you're doing is making more angrier, Just because something been done, like somebody being a mechanic, and they're a horrible mechanic, and then you go to them and say, "Hey man, I think you're doing it wrong," and they say that world famous line we hear from people, "Man, I've been doing this for 40 years, 50 years." I'm like, 40, 50 years you've been doing it wrong.
Right.
And that's the problem. And I'm saying this, and well, Cameron, I'm saying this to black men out there right now. We've been told wrong. We've been told, go to a closet and don't think about it no more.
Yep.
That closet has led to us becoming worse and worse and worse. We've been providing for our families, but we've been only providing in one way. You've been loving your women, but we only been loving them in one way. Money don't solve everything, and this is a true statement. It answers a lot of things. You can pay bills, you can go on trips and everything else like that. But guess what? When the trip is over, you got to go back and face your reality. And if your reality is still that you're in sorrow with just issues that have been unresolved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much you can do. You can have all the sex you want. The issue's going to return. As a matter of fact, you're going to pick up more issues because the people that you're sleeping with, you sleep with those people and everybody else. And I don't want to go all the details, but this is what all that happens. So, in this term, to a lot of men out there, man, one, more importantly than anything, fellas, you got to start hitting your knees. You got to start hitting your face. And you got to start seeking God more and more and more. You got to. It's a must. All of us need to.
Yeah.
It's a must. We have to. We have to touch and come to this realization that we understand that it's all right for things not to be all right.
Yep.
Okay? What we going to keep doing? Every time you're sad, what we're going to do? You're going to drink yourself to death? You're going to smoke yourself to death? You're going to do everything possible to try to remove the thought so you don't have to deal with it? Those days are coming to an end. I'm calling it in the air right now that God, them days are coming to an end. That we are going to finally seek the healing that we deserve, because everybody deserves to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
Men love their kids. Women love their kids. Men love peace. Women love peace. White people love peace. Black people love peace. Latinos, Asians, everybody loves these things. So it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with being rich or poor. It's a mindset that we all have to conquer, and we have to stop taking advice from hurt doctors. And some people are going to get mad on this one, and it is what it is, but we got to call it what it is. You go out and you seek advice from people that are hurt, that have no desire on being healed, but just want to pass along this hurt prescription to you on how to get healed. Like, here, do this. Like, oh, you hurt because that man left you? Go get underneath 8 or 6 other men. That'll work, girl. It worked for me. But she's miserable.
Yeah. Still unhealed, bitter.
Still unhealed. Still
jealous.
Bruised. Still tore up. Because you know how you notice when healed people is do one of our most favorite words that we have on this show all the time, and they begin with an A. They take accountability. That's the first thing they do. The first thing you should always do in all these situations is take accountability. See what you did. It's always easy to see what everybody else did. But if you never, ever look at yourself and say, that's my part of it that I got to take accountability for. It's a saying that somebody, it was a joke by a comedian. And he said, women lose their right to complain about men until they get better taste in them. And that go for men too. We say all these silly things like there ain't no good men, ain't no good women. That's a lie. You just don't pick good. The things that you like and you desire
Or not
don't line
good.
up to what you need.
Yeah.
It just don't line up. And guess what? Everyone on this show is guilty of that. And a whole bunch of you watching is guilty of that. I know I am. It don't line up. Oh, she got a pretty face and a big ass. They don't line up. Oh, but so I say because she has those qualities, that will make her a good woman. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. We like qualities that have nothing to do with the actual quality of the person. You just don't have the quality. You say you want a good woman, then you look for good qualities in a woman. You look for integrity. You look for class. You look that she builds you up. Some of y'all are attracted to women that build you down because you're attracted to it for some weird reason. We don't all look at that. Some women, oh, if he's 6 feet or taller, that's it. He a good man. No, that don't equate to him being a good man. That doesn't equate to him being tall. It don't mean anything. So in the long end of it, because I know we want to get to everything, we got a season that most people we want to focus on depression in. They say, oh, along the holidays, that's nice, but that's another lie. We should focus on it all year round. First of all, the holidays, it's a myth. I had to say it myself, it's a myth. These ain't the number one suicide months. The number one suicide months is April, May, and June. But what we should be thinking about is not, oh, since they're the highest months, let's focus on those. We should be focused on the year round, on people getting healed. That's why season 4, as Miss Hill said last season, was a season devoted to healing. And we ain't going to stop it. We are devoted to all of us getting the healing we need so we can become better. Because until we can get healed, the only thing we can ever give people is pain. And that should let you know right off the bat, I can't be with someone if I ain't getting healed.
That's right.
You're right.
I can't pass good advice to someone until I get totally healed because everything is going to be coming out of a place of pain.
Yep.
And we got to get out of that. We need this. We need to get revelation. Revelation to what we did. Like, you know what? I've been with this many women and I had all these failed relationships. It can't be all the women. I'm the common denominator, common denominator in this. I got to get better. It's something in Randy that's got to change. Because if I'm just being with you because I like the feel of a warm body next to me, I really don't care what the face look like. That's a problem. So, and all that being said, we're gonna get to our topics. And like we said, we are man, I love this aspect of things because I love putting God in everything that I do. I love it. I love putting God in everything I do. And that's the biggest change that people are going to see unfiltered. We talk and you know that we love God, but the biggest thing that you're going to see is that God is going to be in the center of everything that we do on this show and what we say. So in that first topic, it's interesting that we was talking about all of this. And it's funny because right before the show, me, Miss Hills, and Kyra were talking and saying that how all the topics was kind of leading up to this. And this is pretty good right here. It's in regards to our lovely ladies. And I'm glad I got 2 ladies right here. It can, it could be referenced to anybody, but it's really in regards to the ladies. So as y'all still out there and y'all sticking with us, of course, y'all know what to do. Keep sharing, like, subscribe. Remember, we are on YouTube. We are on Meta, and we are on Twitter as well. Follow us, share, retweet. Y'all know what to do. And talking about that, I sent them the link, and I'll put that in the comments as well, or maybe not, because I didn't get clearance with it. And it's in regards to the huge attack it is on women. It is a huge attack on women as a whole. And people are just talking about the outer appearance. But it's getting way deeper than that. Nah, it's getting way deeper than that. It's just the bottom. So we got a huge attack. Before we started off with the attack that now people want to be like, okay, I'm a woman. You should say I'm a woman because I'm telling you I'm a woman, even though biologically and through anatomy and through every other process that it is to be a woman, I'm not. That it's an open attack on women to wear womanhood like it's a costume you can pick up at a Halloween shop. And now you got women. We got two of them here. I'm interested. I just want to get mad. I just want to say this before I let them get in because I know they're gonna be rapid fire. Ping, 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 ping. Whoa! And what happens is that now we have women who want to take on the new mannerism of men, but they're not even the mannerism they take on a man is a strange dilemma. They're taking on the mannerisms of the bad men. Not even the good men of standing up, doing all the stuff. They want to take the mannerisms of the horrible guys. You know, the ones that some of them said they was trying to get away from. And they take it on this. And we've heard it. Some people say, man, they're so masculine. Why these women want to be so masculine now? Why they want to be like this? Why they want to be that? And all this other stuff. But then, of course, as Miss Hills, Miss, Kyra has alluded to, this is what happens when you get hurt. But, again, I know people responsible for their own actions, right? We can agree with that. You're responsible. But, man, you sure can push them to the curb. Now, I can't deny. You can push them to the curb. And especially, all women, especially all women of color. My goodness, man. I mean, at time frames where they really needed our help and to have their back. A lot of men, we just didn't step up. We left them hanging. We left them to give the excuse for why we weren't there, while at the same time, they had to make up for the fact you wasn't there. It's rough. Not only that, we've raped, we've abused, we've still let them be raped and abused, mentally, physically, emotionally. Then we fought them for when they stand up strong to take care of business. Then we say you're too strong. I found that to be insulting to tell a woman, oh man, she too strong. Well, Negro, when you gonna get up and do something? And of course, we ain't got to say this every guy. Again, we don't have to say every guy. We know it ain't every guy. I ain't one of them guys. But we know the cost that's happened for women. Women have bared a huge burden for years. It's just ridiculous. And now you got hurt women. This is scary. You have hurt women telling other women what it is to be a real woman. That's scary. That's scary. So now that the women out here who are good, you being told that being good is the worst thing that you could be. You got what I call horror culture taking over. This is crazy. They promoting whole culture is being put on a pedestal. They're saying the more you act like a whore, the more you are a woman. What? They're telling us. I listened to a thing where they talked about, this woman gonna say, some women are just incapable of being with a man long term. There will always be a side chick. I'm like, they was listening to this. You had some women over there like, yeah. You know the not picking on Jada Pinkett, but the recent Red Table Talk, I laugh at it so much is because if you ever watched it, she does a lot of this. after every single question,
You
like
do.
every single question,
Like
was
everything is
so
an epiphany, revelation.
yeah, like everything is y'all so crazy. Everything was revelation. I'm like, that wasn't deep. Why are you being fake? And that's her, and I'm looking, and I'm telling you, if you know somebody, and I know y'all too know, but anybody, if you want to talk to somebody, look at them in their eyes. Look at them in their eyes. I've looked at this woman talking. This woman looked like she was staring out in the middle of nowhere, almost like she has something else speaking through her. I know when somebody ain't being, I know when something ain't right. And I'm like, that's not right. That's dangerous. We are in an era, a time, especially for women, everybody, but especially for our beautiful black women, that they've been taken advantage of. They've been misused. They know the dedication black women have. There's no other race, ethnicity on this planet of people, man or women, nobody alive, that's more faithful, that's more trusting than black women. If you don't believe me, look how everything gets marketed. When they want to sell something, they market it to black women. When people are running for office, we got to get the black woman vote. They have been used so much. And you know what? To all my ladies, I can understand y'all being pissed off. Yep, I said it. As a man, I said it. I can understand women getting pissed off. Because they're not pissed off. They're pissed off at the thought that no one else want to have their back.
Yep.
That's what they're pissed off about, fellas. Some of you no good guys. You mistreat them and you do wrong. You take everything from them. This is why I tell women, when you go in a relationship with a man, y'all women give everything. Women give they all in a relationship. The most valuable thing the man can give is his last name. But if the man ain't crap, his name means nothing. And that is the problem. So, when, in this topic, when has it become that being a good woman, just a woman in society, isn't enough? This time, it is open to everybody in the comments. What's going on? Why is it so? Why do y'all think women, good women, are being subjected to all these bad, like these bad women advice? Because it goes out everywhere. And I see that both of y'all, that's why I was talking and saying it, y'all both were shaking your hands. So it's some agreement on some of the things I said. And I know y'all got your own topics. And can I just add one thing that I think is a major problem? And I know Kyra knows because I say it to her sometimes. I said the problem with most women, to why it's so bad for them right now, is because women keep having fugitives amongst them. And what I mean by that is that women know the bad women. All women know who the bad women are. But instead of y'all letting them be out in the forefront, letting them be accountable for what they should, for what they're doing, for the dirt they do, for the mess they sow, for the things that they try to put in disorder, y'all had them. Almost like a cloak of womanhood. Like, nah, girl, we with you, girl, we with you. We with you all the way. Knowing good and well that if the tables was turned, they'll leave y'all out high and dry. So I'm curious. I don't know which one of you ladies want to go first. When does it become? Why is it so bad for women? Why is it so bad right now for good women? And why they keep giving into this false narrative that the more whole that you are, the better you are.
Okay, so I think the more fitting question would be, when has being a woman stopped being enough? Women are only going to, at the end of the day, women were made for men. So we were raised to be good wives. We were raised to be good mothers. We were raised to
be codependent.
Yes, to be, to submit.
I'm sorry. Say that word again. I didn't hear that. You said codependent?
Codependent.
Man.
We were raised to know how to cook for our man, and how to clean, and how to, how to keep a man, pretty much. Well, when media, society, now it's like everything that we've been taught is not good enough anymore. Just being a woman is no longer enough. And when has it started being like that? Being a woman stopped being enough when society sold fantasies to men's imaginations, which in turn caused men to push unrealistic and sometimes even unattainable expectations onto us women. Being a woman stopped being enough when men stopped appreciating the very things that women are made of. Being a woman stopped being enough when men decided that being a woman is so easy that even a man can do it.
Whoa.
I don't mean to ruffle no feathers. I don't mean to step on nobody's toes. I don't mean to do none of that, but I'm speaking. What comes to my mind comes out of my mouth. Whoever like it, whoever don't, but I'm telling the truth. When men can make it look like you could turn on the TV and you can't tell if it's a man or a woman. When a man can come out here and walk past a real woman who she got a natural body. Mm-hmm. Yeah, her titties ain't all perky and sitting up, on her chest. That her bras hold her titties up. Yeah, she got some stretch marks on her belly. Yeah, she might, her booty ain't all like a perfect peach, but it's there. But then a man can walk by who bought everything he got on his body and get more attention, more play, than this natural woman right here. There's something wrong with that. Now they have women feeling like, well, dang, it's not even enough to be a woman. Mm-hmm. Because clearly even a man can do it. That's how they seeing it. We've had so much things taken away from us. And now our womanhood is at attack. So once you take our womanhood, then what do you have left? Mm-hmm. That's the end of the world right there, because a man can't have a baby. Yep. A man can't have a baby. Now they're trying to make it where a man can have a baby. But that's where, these are the reasons why women are the way they are, because now we got to find we feel like we got to find alternate ways to stick out as a woman. We have to find reasons, like we have to find ways to show men that we are enough. So a lot of these women that you see nowadays, they look at the media, because the women on the media, clearly they're enough because they got the money. They got the money to buy the body mm-hmm. that the men say is perfect. Mm-hmm. But they're not perfect. But on screen, they're portrayed as perfect. But that's what the men want. It seems like that's what the men want these days. They don't care if it was born a man, born with a penis, and now it got the perfect titties, and it's the look that they want. It's the persona. That's unattainable. That's not realistic, because you got women out here that are trying to be enough, and they go spend $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 on butt implants, and they die. Now you really ain't enough. They spend audit thousands of dollars to have their breasts look perfect, to get the stretch marks removed, to have their lips more, more filled, to have their eye, they turning their eyes colors and all that. They messing with everything that God has created.
Yeah.
Just to be enough for a man.
Dude, I got a question for you. I noticed that you keep saying being enough for a man, but it's a lot of women that like women too. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in some terms, just to figure out. Most women I ask, when I tell you why they do the, with their body and dress, they say they don't do that for men. The number one thing I hear all the time is that they do it for themselves.
Really? Because those same women who say they don't do it for men, they go put on the tightest pair of leggings they can find. They show off all their body parts. They got their titties hanging out. They got their stomach, everything that they feel like a man is going to be attracted to.
Yep.
That's what they're displaying. And they ain't sitting in the house with a tank top and booty shorts on.
They don't do that for other women though, because I mean,
they could be because that's another part of it. The women who no longer want to be women, that's a sad crying shame. Because men have made them feel like they are not good enough. Well, shoot, if I can't be a good enough woman, I guess I'll be a man.
That part. It's led by lust.
Yes.
When lust is the leader, then that is the trajectory of how everything is going to be decided and displayed, and that's going to be how everything is going to flow. And I say that because, just like Kyra said, the fantasy. Men are the ones that run the world. In all these advertising businesses and companies, the execs, the corporate Americas, all the people that are at the top, they're men.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that are, when we talk about the entertainment industry and how a lot of these artists have to become whatever the label wants them to become in order to be marketed, that's the same thing for these women. This is why, like you said, the whores or hoes, whatever you want to call them, that's the look now. Everybody has to alter their body and look a certain way. And it all goes back to not just lust, but it goes back to women no longer understanding their value and putting their value outside of what they were raised to be. It goes back to people leaving God. When you leave God as your standard, because we used to have a standard. Now everybody is, God is too much. I don't know about God. I want to explore and try this. And I feel like this. These people hurt me. So I'm going to shun the church or not be about the church, or all the church is a demonic thing, or it's whatever. Everybody deciding to do their own thing is what's producing all of this out, because everybody's thought process is not with one accord. Everybody's not on the same page. Everybody all over the place doing some of everything. And with that produces chaos. The chaos is women are confused, men are confused.
Absolutely.
You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want to do. You have no guidance in life. You don't even understand value anymore. You don't know where to put value. So now you're just going off of whatever society is pushing out, whatever the culture is saying, whatever the trend is. That's the trend. I have to look a certain way. So now women are putting their value or their success or their achievement in, I bet you I can get these many men. All I got to do is post this one picture. And that's why you have these new waves of influencers or what you call it, Instagram models and all these things. That's where that came from. And women are no longer feeling strong enough or enough, because now that men has had all of these fantasies realized, is not just on the screen, it's real life. People are actually doing their bodies this way, and I can obtain this to get access to this and slide in the DM. Now that's becoming the new standard, because they're like, why I gotta settle for that now? My fantasy is real life.
Right.
It's a whole bunch of women that look like this now. I could just go get it. Or if I got enough money, I could pay for her to get her body done and she could look like I want her to look.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not nothing that's against people who want to get their body done or altered. It's not a problem if that is your personal choice. But when it's becoming the standard where people who don't decide to do that are looked at as trash or not
That
enough
part.
or regular, that's where the issue comes in, because you can choose to do whatever you want to do. If I choose not to do that, that doesn't make me less than, but that's what the narrative is becoming. If you don't look like this, then you're not enough. You can't provide. You can't give a man what he needs because you don't have your body looking right. And it goes back to the way men are perceiving women. That's the other part. The so-called good men or all men in general. Now your view is being skewed because now that's all you see is the fantasy in real life, the fantasy realized. And now you're looking at women who are not that as less than because you're feeling like, well, you need to take better care of yourself. You need to go to the gym more. You need to work out more. How you getting fat?
Right.
You can go to the membership next week. You can stop eating all the fast food.
Mm-hmm.
You can do more. Now the pressures are different, and women are feeling like, okay, I go to the gym, I eat healthy, I do all these things, but the hoes or the whores is still getting attention because they have a fake body. It's perfect. It's perfected.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a maintenance that they have to continue. They have to keep doing it. But if you look at the truth of it, past the fantasy, you will see a lot of these women that got all these injections, these celebrities. You can just go off Cardi B. They're removing them now because they're causing health issues. They're causing problems.
Big time health issues.
They got the men that supposedly wanted this, and now they're reverting back to normal. They trying to get all this stuff out. They're saying, I regret this in real life. I had the facade up and the fantasy up, but in reality, this didn't help me.
Right.
It messed up my self-esteem that I started with. I thought it was going to make me better, and for a while I was getting good attention. But now I see the attention ain't really that good because now I'm looking at my daughters that I've had, and I don't want my daughters to be thinking that they have to do all this. My daughters is having these conversations with me like, why can't I look like you, mama? Why is my body not developing as I'm going through puberty to look like what you look like? Because that's not real. That's not the way their bodies were made. And now that they did all these alterations, now they have to look in the mirror because they're seeing their kids look at them, their daughters, and they're like, I got to go do this. Mama, I want lip injections too.
Mm-hmm.
I want fake boobs and booty and weave too. And again, if that's your preference, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it's pushed as this is what the standard has to be for everybody, and if you don't line up with that, you're not enough. That's where the issue is.
I agree with both. I agree with Will.
Because they're saying you're not beautiful enough the way you are. You have to in order to be beautiful. You have to change in order to be accepted. You have to change in order to look a certain way. But it's all about how you feel on the inside. If these women are able to look in the mirror and love themselves and be confident without a man in the equation or a woman or whoever, that's the difference. A lot of them cannot. It's all predicated and based on what somebody else's opinion is going to be.
Yeah.
Not based on if there's nobody else that live on this earth or that exists, I'm good with me. Going back to self-love and self-care. It ain't just going to the spa and getting your hair and nails done every week, whether you got weave or not. It's about internally. How are you perceiving yourself? Do you feel good enough the way God made you? And if you don't, that's where you need to start. Because
you just
now
had a comment about it right now.
You've let all these other outside influences change your perception and your perception on who you are and what you have to be in order to be you.
So just to be enough.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all to this because I had a couple of comments. I know Indy. I appreciate everybody out there is commenting. Keep doing it, please. I see y'all out here. I know Indy, and like I said, Indy said it personally doesn't bother me. Another person's choice or dress has no bearing on how I view myself as a woman, and I can understand that. I don't think that's like kind of. I think that the question is, and and actually, you know what? Let me put that back up here. I could touch base with this a little bit, and the issue is, if you can hear me, that every woman isn't built like that.
Right.
See, I think that's where we all mess up. When people say, "Oh man, you shouldn't feel like this," look, I do it. Look at me. Everybody mental capacity ain't gonna be the same. The maturity level or anything else, or how you raise it, just ain't gonna be the same. And right here, a lot of women suffer from identity crisis, and this is the one that I definitely see all the time.
Mhm.
And it's because the fact that a lot of women just ain't built that way no more. I mean, let's just be honest. When you have kids having kids, right? I mean, what can that kid teach their kid?
Right.
If you 12 years old having a baby, I mean, it's not so much you can pass on to it. Now, are there 12-year-olds that had kids that had the family support, the people around them to help rear their child in the right direction, all the while as they still a child to be reared in the right direction? Yes, absolutely. There are exceptions to the rules. But majority of this happens because just like with both India and Kim just said, that this is how mobs start anyway. Big gangs and mobs don't start because everybody in the mob is smart. It starts because when people don't know exactly who they are yet, and they're trying to find a place to belong, they're going to gravitate to what's popular. They're going to gravitate to what, as a whole, just like right here, as she said, society as a whole, what they think is cool. This is why they say with social media, like especially Instagram, coming under so much fire about women, because you have so many young girls with so many self-esteem issues. And I know a lot of women like, girl, but I don't even think about that. I don't even like, man, that girl ain't you. And keep in mind, there's some stuff that you do that you shouldn't be doing because you kind of looking at their eyes, but you're not looking at your own. You know, I love that phrase that I'm grown, I can do what I want to do. Grown,
but
don't
should
mean
you
that you do? There you
do
go.
everything that you want to do?
Growth, maturity, and growth determines, you know what I'm saying, if you're grown. Because you can't do one without the other. You can't grow without maturing. You can't be mature without growth. So it's not based upon your age. It's based upon the preciseness and the care of your decision making when it comes to choices. That you just don't say, I could do it because I'm grown. Nobody can't tell me nothing to do. That's just stupid. They got places for people that think they can do whatever they want to do and say what they want to say. This is called jail. And some place they call it the cemetery. Some of them call it mausoleum. Some call them graves. Some call them urns. They got places for people that think they can do everything they want to do. The problem is that's the more thing that we see from everybody, right? Men and women. The point is that no everybody loves the first part of that. I could do whatever I want to do. The second part is the one that people have the problem with. And that's, so I got to be accountable for what I do now? I got to be accountable for this? Oh, I got to pay the cost for doing this? Oh, I could be promiscuous. Oh, you telling me I got to be accountable for babies and diseases and soul ties and everything else? Hold on, no, I don't like that part. It don't work like that. Life is not a buffet. You can't go there, make a choice and say, nope, I don't want that part of it. That's the case. We be all doing it. That's robot stuff. Yeah. So, just like what y'all just said about it, and I appreciate that. I'm while I'm sitting there listening to y'all, I'm trying to take notes, but y'all going so fast. And but it was just good. The points, I just want to say the points that stuck out the most for me that y'all both said, it couldn't get past me when you said coexist. And I hope the men that were listening didn't take me saying, like I'm trying to be sarcastic. I'm saying, because some men need to hear that. Men and women were built to coexist. Some people are like, what you mean by that? He didn't tell Adam to coexist. Like, go back and read. Yes, he did. He said it's not good for man to be alone. I'll say it again for everybody in the back of the room, way, way back there. It's not good for men to be alone. And like Ms. Hill said, like Kyra said a really good one. Men in so much control, and this real. Even when it comes to the LGBTQ, the most powerful entity in that group happens to be the G. A lot of people are like, when we talk about the G, it's the gay men. They are the most powerful in that group. They get all the changes done. They make sure it gets taken care of. In every aspect, men want to have control. And it's scary because you brought up such a good point, both of y'all, that men are so much in control. They want to prove that they can be women. Like, we can beat y'all at being women. As a matter of fact, we're going to make it so that women want to be men. And then on birth certificate, because we had a situation like that, I think last year, like this year, during our season, bless you. And we talked about it. I think when a woman had a sex change to be a man, and she was having a baby, and she wanted on the birth certificate to be named as the man. See, it's slick how stuff get through on a spiritual level. That's what we're talking about. Like, okay, that's think about it. He's trying to say I'm a man, but now I'm gonna be a woman. So now I can give birth, and I'm technically a man. No. And what happens is that we get all this nonsense. First of all, the biggest problem with information today, and I know you said this, Ms. Hills, we got social media, right? Which is an amazing thing, right? It's amazing. If it's utilized the right way, it's a brilliant thing. Ms. Hills is in another state right now. Kyra is in another part, you know what I'm saying, of the city. And we're able to communicate and have this discussion in real time. The issue is that we don't use this for the right thing. And what it's done is it made everybody and their mamas feel like they Dr. Phil. Make it feel like everything that they say, and what happens is there's so much serious. So what people do is now they sharing information in light speed, but they're not researching information at light speed. And it's a dangerous thing that we're doing, that we are being flooded with useless and false information so much, and that people are too lazy and they're not trying to clarify. They're just going with the flow. Yeah, I'm going to like it. Yep, I like it. Because they said one aspect of it that stuck out of my ear because our attention spans have gotten so low that we're in danger of having an attention span of goldfish. If you don't believe me, look it up. Scientists been saying it. Like, we are at this how bad. Even if you notice, even the trends getting shorter now. They're like, okay, this trend for a while. We're going to do the cuff it. We're going to do the cuff it. The next week, it's going to be another trend. But, it's going to be another trend. It comes so fast because the more you can make people think on useless information, the more things you can slide in right underneath their nose. And if you think anything different, it's crazy. Like you said, Ms. Hill, but you kind of said this, like, I don't know if you remember if you knew you said this, but you said we're in danger of having every piece of information that we have found to be factual in the next couple of years being declared false. That's scary. And I remember when you said that scared the mess out of me because I thought about it. I'm like, wow. We are being told by sick, hurt, manipulative, oh, there we go, that all of a sudden, what we see and what we know to be factual, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they're telling us to forget all that. That's not fact anymore. What we knew is only two sexes, a man and a woman. They're telling you there's over 22 different. I'm like, hold on. And the danger of it is that they're really trying to approach it to the young, because they understand that the younger you are, the more of a blank slate you are. People like us, they're like, no, don't go with them because they're stuck in their ways. And that's the danger of it. And I agree with both of what y'all said about the women. And it kind of made me just think back as a man, just to say, dang, hold on now. That's factual. Men been saying this for a long time. Men been trying to do this for a long time. Have total control. of everything that women do. And then once when somebody step up and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. Oh, they're gonna destroy that woman. Like we gotta destroy her in every aspect of it. Oh, she don't want to take this movie role. You got to get butt naked for this movie role. No, I don't want to do that. And shout out to the women who don't do it, because it's a lot of women that don't compromise. It's a whole bunch of them. It's way more women that don't compromise that do compromise. And like you said, you got strong women who say, man, I don't care what other women do. It don't affect me as a woman. And shout out to you. Like, shoot, cuz I love you. India, love you. And every other woman that's like that way. Man, we love you. But we need y'all to step up and be there for these young ones who don't have that type of mentality.
That's right.
We don't need y'all to just go out and just party and let them stray away. This is what the one part I don't get is that we gotta have you women come here and be like, man, get these women, get these young girls in order, man, because they out here searching for lust, not love, because all they've seen their whole entire life is nothing but lust. They see everything they've seen is men using them to get what they want, or women using them to get what they want. That's all they've seen. You got young girls who know how it feels to be hooked and tricked out here all the time. You got women, I know right off here, women that have been told by guys they like, if you like me, you got to sleep with all my boys. And they do it.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
We at this time frame where, even us as the fellas, y'all need to, y'all destroying these women's confidence, man.
That's what I was going to say. This is why so many women now have insecurities that didn't used to have them before. Because they have been shattered or damaged so much by the words that have been spoken. Not necessarily the actions, but just the words. It goes deeper than just anything you can do. Words have so much power. And we understand that. We do. But in the magnitude of how much is impacting women, we don't get it. This is why we have this dilemma and this issue that we have now. Because let's look at Jasmine Sullivan. She made a whole album called Hotels to talk about how women have had these different stories and experiences, and a lot of them didn't used to be this way.
Never.
The whole one song she created, she said, you're going to make a hoe out of me because I'm doing all the things that's right. But you, like we just said, you keep telling me the things that I'm doing right is wrong. And the things that I know that is wrong that I don't want to do, that's what you want me to do. And I keep trying. I keep going all these different ways to reach you, communicate, figure out how to give you what you're looking for, and be all that you want me to be. And then you keep dogging me, or you keep cheating on me and going with the hoes or the side chicks that you say they don't mean nothing. But they mean something because that's what you're pursuing. So because that's what you're pursuing and that's what women are seeing, they're like, I need to alter who I am and compromise in order to be that. So now you can see me and I'm visible now.
Right.
Now I can get what I want. But at the same time, that compromise has destroyed that woman and who she is. And now she has all the insecurities. She got the whole body and everything looking perfect from the outside, but dead in the inside. Her insecurities is beyond the roof now. And she got all the body and all the things done and got all the attention. She had more confidence when she was just herself.
It make you shake your head, because I got a daughter. And every day, even with Kyra's daughter and all of them, the example I put around them all the time is, as a man, this is how a man should operate. Like when I'm around, like, look, this is what you should do. You should never have. I want to leave my daughter without any excuse, or at least without saying, my daddy never told me that. And when you like you just said, when you say that, it's scary because you got a whole bunch of good-looking Corvettes, but the engines are shot. And so it's like anybody who don't understand that example, I use a Corvette because a Corvette is, pretty much a gorgeous car. Anybody that see a Corvette, you're like, man, dang, that's a Corvette. You can't mistake a Corvette, But when you see it, you understand that underneath that, you look at it and you realize not only is it's gorgeous and beautiful, you in hopes understand all the power that's within that Corvette. But one day, guys have used them, then leased these Corvettes, then run them down to the ground. They didn't do no maintenance to these Corvettes. Engines then blew up. Transmissions then got shot.
Not functioning right.
And it will never function right again until they get the right mechanic. Now, who that mechanic? That's God. But in the notion that you just said, this is the point where a lot of women, you moan for them. Because it's like, look, and some people say, well, the good guys are boring. No. It ain't that the good guys are boring. And it ain't that the good girls are boring. The biggest point that I just have to make when it comes to these, these comments that we make is that your taste in men and women have got to grow up. And someone can't give you what they never had. And those are just the subtle facts. How can I give you love if I've never experienced love a day in my life? And it's tough. But women love hard. And I tell men this too. Men love hard. We just do it in different ways. Women love hard because they give all of their stuff, man. I love, like I said before, I love women because women do that. I'm looking at two women that do it right here. I look at my cousin, Miss Heels. She love hard. She love with everything she got. She don't know how to do a halfway love.
Absolutely not.
She loves with everything. So if she's with you, she's like, you getting everything. I'm not going to even embarrass you. Everything that's with me is us. We here in this together. That's my dedication to you. I look at Kyra, who's like, I'm with you. Even in her past, relationship with her, what I'm saying, being married before, like, I'm there with you. I'm there. What the term say, ride or die, but I like to say, ride or live. Ride and live better than ride or die.
Or ride for life.
Together. You know what I'm saying? And it's there. The problem is that these type of women do everything in the contract. Woof. And get totally embarrassed and take on the ownership of the fault that the relationship gets messed up or comes to the end because the other person is inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It's horrible. And you sit there and look, you're like, man, hold on. Because you got some people you got men, and I know they talk about women manipulating all this. I mean, yeah, that's all good and dandy. But ain't nobody more manipulating than a man that knows a woman cares about him. Nothing. It's nothing on the face. I've seen it. It'd be a gorgeous woman, no matter how you look. I think looks and stuff is, negotiable and all this other because everybody not attracted to the same people.
That's right.
So when one person say that's gorgeous, another person may not think it's gorgeous, but I think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what happens is that this guy, he'll know that this woman is crazy about him. She'll jump through hoops for him. And he'll mentally understand this, and he will destroy her in every physical way. That's the problem with most men. Men, in a very deliberate way, destroy women.
But I think that goes back to what we keep talking about, accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And getting the tools, because like you just mentioned, a lot of women and men may not have grown up in an environment that taught them any of the things that they're lacking. Hence why they do what they do and they operate the way they operate. But it has to come to a point where you understand, after you start socializing and understanding other people are not the same way you are.
Right.
And there is a better way. You have to make that choice to go for the latter. You have to make that choice, like we've been saying, to do the work within you, or find the resources, or find other examples that will help you become that, if that's what you're choosing to do. Because some people are, this is how they were raised and they're okay with it.
Right. Man, y'all girls got me going tonight. Y'all have good. So I'm gonna pick y'all man for one more topic. I appreciate y'all. And it's really a good one. And I'm gonna try to keep it because I want to keep us underneath a certain time frame for the most part, but we'll go how we go. I really wish I could put this one out there, but I'll see what happens. But in regards to how y'all saying with women, let's take men out the picture for a minute, okay? If y'all mind, let's remove men from the equation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel is the steps that's going to be necessary for women to repair the damage that's been done?
It's a lot of things that can, that could be said, but there's only one thing that I know is completely true. Everything else would be an opinion or whatever like that. But the one thing that's completely true and that I know works because I've been there is seek the Creator. Only He, God, can truly replace, replenish, and redeem what's been stolen. Because the things that have been stolen, these are not material things. These are not something that you could just go on Amazon and be like, oh, let me go get my heart back. Let me go get another heart. Let me go get another spirit. Let me go get, I think they get happiness on sale at Walmart. These things you can't just go and get. And we lose some very valuable parts of ourselves sometimes in relationships, careers, parenthood, just out here just trying to live our lives. But sometimes when we're not living, actually anytime you're not living life the way that God intended, and you decide to take your own route on things, whether it be a relationship that you felt like was good for you, but God said, I didn't tell you to be with him. You wanted that, but I gave you free will. You wanted it, you had it, and now it left you like this. But because God is the Creator and because God loves you, you can always go back to him because he knows how to fix what's been broken. He knows how to replace and replenish what you feel like has been stolen. Mm-hmm. You might not ever get back the person you were 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. But only God has the resources and the power to upgrade you. You might not even want what you lost 10 years ago. You're not even the same person you were 10 years ago. Whether you lost that or not, you're not the same person. That's not that piece of the puzzle doesn't even fit anymore. Prayer works. God works. He's the one who made you. He's the one who can replace you or replenish you, redeem you, and replace what's been lost and what's been broken in you. Nobody else can do that. You can't just go get that off a shelf nowhere. Your boyfriend can't do it. Your mama can't do it. Your sister can't do it. Your kids can't do it. Nobody can do that but God. So
I agree 100% because what I understand is that when you go to God, He created you. He knows everything about you. And a lot of times you've been learning about yourself through other people's eyes or perspective and not having that intimacy with your own self through God. God can show you things about yourself that you never knew, that nobody could even tell you. But you have to start with having a relationship with God, not just going to church, but starting that relationship with God, really getting intimate and opening up, just talking to God like, who did you make me to be? What is my identity? And when you find your identity in God because you're developing that relationship, that's when you can really, like you said, be redeemed. You can be restored, replenished. You really get real joy. You really get real peace. You really get that understanding that I don't have to explain anything to anybody. My life is not having to be given to everybody because they ask me for stuff or they want stuff or they want me to be a part of their life. But my life can be just my life, me living and doing whatever God is telling me to do. And I can be whole and well, and I'm self-sufficient. I don't have to get approval from other people. I don't have to get extra outside resources to help me. I am good with just me and God. That is that peace that surpasses all understanding. That is that full satisfaction in who you are, awareness of who you are, and that's where you get your confidence. That's real confidence because you're not leaning to outside sources. No matter what happens, you will have that steadfastness. You will have that anchor. You will have that for sure, never changing, never gonna lie to you, never gonna leave you. God, Father, lover of your soul. That is what you're missing, and that's what you need. And when you go through heartbreak and heartache, you have to understand you're dealing with human beings. They are human. They are fickle. They can change, like we already said, with situations circumstantially, but they can just change because they don't know who they are or they're having certain issues or things that they're going through. So when you trust in God, when you put your heart in God's hands, He's always going to give you the best. He's always going to give you beyond what you can imagine or think. Your heart is in good hands with God because He's the one who created it. He knows what's happening. And then He can teach you how to be more prepared moving forward. He'll teach you how to guard your heart. He'll give you discernment so you can identify the signs of this person is not going to be good for me because they don't have the capacity to handle me properly. They don't have the capacity to understand the depths of me. So there's no need for me to waste time trying to force this relationship to work. Taking things to God first is important because that will stop a lot of the drama, a lot of the trauma, a lot of the things that we experience and go through when we seek God first. That's not just the scripture that sound cute and nice. When you actually make that your priority and your principle, I promise you things will be different in your life because you're going through God first. And He's never going to lead you in a way that's going to bring you detriment or bring you harm or bring you devastation or bring you lack. God is in abundance. God is good. Everything that comes from God is good. So if you want good life, you want good relationships, you want good communication, you want to have a good understanding and perspective and mind change, you have to go through what is good. Everything else is not good. It's tainted in some kind of way. It may have some good qualities and good traits mixed in there, but it's still contaminated. It's still tainted. It's not 100% good. Only God is that. So when you go through God, that's when you will get your full healing. It's going to take time. It's a process. It ain't going to happen overnight. Just because you decide I'm going to go to God today don't mean your life is going to be fixed overnight. And He will work some miracles where some parts or instances of your life will have that miraculous. He did it overnight. He did a quick work. But other areas are going to take time because you have to learn these principles. You have to learn the ways of God. You have to learn who God is. That's period. Because you can say I'm gonna go get a relationship with God, but if you don't understand who God is, his characters, his ways, you can easily be deceived again to think I found God and you didn't. You found something that is an alternative or something that's a mock of God, but it's not the real thing. So it just takes time. It takes you really wanting to do the work and quiet out all the noise, being still, being okay with sitting with yourself, no matter how long the season, and getting to the root of who you are and what you desire and what you're in need of. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. You can do it, but it starts with your choice. You have to be so tired of the circumstances and the situations and the same old cycles that you want to do something different so that you're not being insane, doing the same things over and over, thinking you're going to get a different result. You on mute.
You're on mute, baby.
Dang, I was on mute. You can see my lips moving, my big mouth moving, but nothing coming out of that. I loved everything that y'all said, man. I'm sitting here and I'm soaking it all in, and I couldn't even think of a better way to kick off our season with this type of episode, getting right into it with, man, this is a good one. Whew. Right, man. So, I got shoot. I don't have nothing else other than what y'all said. I love. It's a difference when you talk about something when it's about women, and then it's a difference when you actually have women here to talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's a big difference, you know. So, just hearing everything that y'all said, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the comments from every woman that was out there in the comments tonight. Appreciate every one of y'all that was following and commented, women and men. So I mean, definitely next week, y'all know, and we hoping and praying. I hope Mac is good and should be back next week as well, on Wednesday. But I think the biggest thing I just took away from tonight was just that. The biggest thing I think I just took away, and you ladies could correct me if I'm wrong, that healing, you gotta want it. You gotta want it. We spend so many times from blaming everybody about why we not here, why we ain't there. This person did this to me, that person did this to me, and guess what? We can't undo those things. Unfortunately, we can't undo them. We can't endure the abuse. We can't undo the abuse. You can't undo the bad things, the words that were said from people and the actions that were taken against you. But what you can do is go live and go live better. What you can do is go get healed for yourself, for nobody else. You can't get it. I know when people, I just don't want women to ever lose themselves, because sometimes women can lose themselves, and that's real. They'll be so busy taking care of everybody else. They're so busy taking care of friends. They're so busy taking care of the kids, job, that sometimes they lose their own identity. And what I would tell any woman out there that was watching, listening, younger, not so young, don't lose yourself, because you're more than just a mother. You're more than just somebody's wife. You're more than just somebody's girlfriend. You're more than just someone's employee. You're more than just a boss. That you're incredible, and that you need it. That's what women should know, and everybody. But again, I shouldn't have to say everybody, but ladies, that y'all should know that y'all need it. Y'all all need it. I don't care what nobody done told you. You need it. Who cares that you flawed? We all flawed, man. That's what makes us awesome, that we flawed. Because we can get better. We can do better. That we can take a hurting. We could take a heartbreak, take what we need out of that heartbreak, and what we learned from that heartbreak, and learning not to get your heart broken again. That we could take from so many things that's happened in your life, and you can be better. And women, y'all vital, man. Y'all the glue that keeps society together, man. Let's not get it twisted. Women, I don't want to live in a society without women. Women are vital. I've worked with women that work circles around men. And I don't want to make it into a man versus woman contest. I just want women to know that, man, we're supposed to be coexisting in this bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're supposed to be getting it together. We can't live without y'all. Like y'all can't live without us.
Yeah.
It's a two-part thing. And quite frankly, I'm not going to ever let society, I don't care how much power they got media-wise, they ain't got no power over me. I got my father way more powerful than anything they could ever dish out in this bad boy. I'm more powerful than anything they could ever dish out than they got in this bad boy.
Yeah.
That we need each other.
Yeah.
So while we sitting here trying to debate and play the hurt Olympics, saying women hurt men more than women.
Mm-hmm.
Men hurt more, women hurt men. They do cheat. Men cheat more than women. Women cheat more than men. We quibbling over the wrong things. What we should be doing is saying, man, I know I did this and I'm sorry. What can I do to rectify it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we all need to start saying. Like, oh man, what can I do to do this? To get some healing in our lives and get going. Because like one of y'all said, when you in relationships, everybody don't deserve you. And that's a two-way street. Now, and this will be it for me. It's a two-way street. Everybody doesn't deserve you. One, everybody don't deserve the incredible essence and spirit and purpose that you have on your life. Everybody don't deserve it. And here's the second part. Everybody don't deserve the pain and the anguish that you can bring to them if you're not healed. So remember that, men and women. Everybody don't deserve it. The people don't deserve you. Nobody deserves the wrath of me, especially you had no part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, some people don't deserve all the best parts of me when they contributed to try to destroy me. So I'm just letting you know this is just a two-way street. So ladies out there, just know that you're incredible, and that one of the things they brought up tonight is that knowing your worth. Go back and do your own history on yourself. That's what you do when you get healed. That's what you do when you're trying to get better in yourself. You go back and do research on yourself. That's what I would challenge every woman out there to do. Now, do research on yourself. Get away from like these women just said tonight. Stop letting people define you. So you got some people that took your history book and tore pages out of it, and then start rewriting some other stuff and told you, "Yup, that's you."
Mm-hmm.
Throw that book out because it's false. Go back and do the research of yourself. Go back to the one who created you. Go back to the one that designed you. Stop going to people that used you. So, and all in all today, I thank y'all for, again, another great first episode for our season 5. I love kicking it off this way. I'm so grateful to be back. We'll be back next week, Wednesday, 7:45 on time. And I'm going to let my ladies, if they have anything to say, before I go ahead and let y'all out of here for today. Again, we thank you, Kyra. Thank you, Gorgeous, for coming in on the show. You know, you always welcome to come on this bad boy. I appreciate you so much for being on this bad boy. You got anything to say before I give it to Miss Hills? Because Miss Hills get deep at the end, and I miss her voice. I miss her voice all the time. I love her so much.
Oh God.
I'll just keep your head up out there. I know it's Depression is moving in waves right now, and anybody can get caught up in that wave. But just remember to, check on people, look out for the signs. If you need help, open up your mouth, say something, go to someone, seek help. Suicide is not ever the answer. Women, love yourselves for who God made you. I don't care what you see on TV, on social media. I don't care what men say, that what man you might hear say, well, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. You are beautiful just the way you are. Remember that. And when recovering stolen pieces of yourself, go straight to the Creator. He's the only one that can do it.
Amen. Ms. Hill.
Yes, I just want to add that God did not make a mistake with you. He created you with purpose, with destiny, for a reason, to not just be on this earth just to exist, but to leave an impact, to really make change. And you don't know who is looking at you, who you are inspiring and you are encouraging just the way you are. Even with the trauma and the trials and the different circumstances you go through, that's still showing someone resilience. It's still showing someone persistence and dedication and how to endure. So don't change because of other people's opinions or perspectives. Learn what God needs you to be and what he created you to be, so that you can reach that full potential. Everybody talk about living their best lives. That's the way you're going to live your best life, by going through God, connecting with God, staying in touch with God and connected with God the whole time, because he's going to open doors and provide everything that you're looking for the world to give. He's going to give that in abundance, and it's going to be long-term and long-lasting, and it's not temporary like what the world can give.
Amen.
Cool beats, right on target. I love that. So again, next Wednesday, 7:45, episode 2, Unfiltered, for season 5. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much. Until then, man, take care of yourself, love yourself, and we will see y'all next week, Wednesday, on Unfiltered.